UFC 313 just took place. Magomed Ankalaev is the new light heavyweight champion of the world. I am in shambles right now. I think I went like 7-3 on the card total. Not a bad card, but like main event kind of spoiled the show for me and probably for a lot of other people. I really wanted Pereira to win this one. But I will leave that for the end of this video. I'm going to recap the entire card, starting with the first fight, going all the way up to the main card. So let me start with the first fight of the night. Wasn't actually Gutierrez Castaneda that fell off. It was Jordan Santos versus Ozzy Diaz. This was a great fight to start the card, I won't lie. It was a great back and forth fight. Had me on the edge of my seat at a couple moments in this fight. And I'm not even lying right now. This was a great back and forth fight. Jordan Santos was supposed to get the knockout. He was the favorite. He kind of choked it a bit. And I do agree with the decision. People are calling this a robbery. But in hindsight, Ozzy Diaz landed the better shots in the second round, and he outstruck him in the third round. Santos gassed pretty hard. Ozzy Diaz, good win for him. I don't think he's like a prospect or anything, but like I was saying in my breakdown, if you watched it, he was a good, like, his only losses are Joe Pyfer and Mingyang Zhang. And they're both like knockout artists and like pretty good fighters, you know? So it's like, you can't talk too bad about Ozzy Diaz. And I think a lot of the people that were picking this fight were expecting Ozzy Diaz to just be a pushover. And I was hesitant on that. I thought Ozzy Diaz was a bit better than people were making him out to be. So I'm glad I was right on that, but I still got the pick wrong. But let me go on to the next fight. Myron Santos, Francis Marshall. I just want to say Myron Santos did not win this fight, but I will be graced by the MMA gods of a robbery. You know, when it goes in my favor, I love it. You know, it made me money. This was part of a parlay that I had, you know. Love it when it goes my way. Because I was fully sure, when this went to a decision, I was fully confident Francis Marshall lost this fight. Or Myron Santos lost this fight, sorry. I was fully confident Francis Marshall won this fight when this went to a decision. But instead, Myron gets his hand raised. Split decision, you know, I'll take it. Francis Marshall might lose his job over this, though. Unfortunately. So it is what it is, but yeah, let's move on to the next fight of the card. You know, you got Carlos Leal versus Alex Morono. Carlos Leal puts him on the first round. Great fucking, he backs him down to the cage, lands a mean combo, big overhand, just lets loose. Leal beat Rinat Fakhretdinov. Let's admit it. This guy should be on a 2-fight win streak right now. Including his regional fights, it would be a more higher win streak as well, but he got robbed to fucking bullshit in his last fight. He beat Rinat. And he beat the fuck at Alex Morono. This was a fucking one-sided, one-round KO win for Carlos Leal. This juice monkey got it done in the first round. Good win for him. Let's start. I don't know if they've done it yet, but let's maybe drug test this guy. If it hasn't got done yet, let's maybe shoot someone over this guy's place. Let's get his piss. That's all I'm only asking for his piss. That's all I'm asking for. Next fight of the card, we got Bruno Ferreira versus Armen Petrosyan. Great win for Bruno Ferreira. I was sweating, man. I was on the edge of my seat. In my head, I'm like, Armen Petrosyan's winning this fight. And he was. He was outstriking Bruno. But then Bruno somehow, in a scramble in the second round, fucking latches up a fucking triangle choke and gets it, you know. I blew my load, man. This was incredible. Bruno Ferreira with a round 2 submission. That was not on my bingo card. I had him by KO. I might even have lost money on this fight, but I think I had Bruno by KO. I didn't even bet on my sub. I should have taken the money line, not plus money. But instead, Bruno Ferreira gets it by submission. I'm still happy for the guy, man. I just want this guy to succeed. He's a great fighter, and I'm really glad he got this win over Armen Petrosyan, known quitter. Great fight, great win for Bruno Ferreira. And we move on to the next fight, Joshua Van versus Ray Saruya. This is a great... It wasn't really a great fight. I mean, this was like Saruya failing takedowns. And Joshua Van just beating him on the feet. And yeah, that was pretty much the entire fight. Joshua Van ends up taking home the decision win. Good win for him. Saruya, I don't want to shit on him too much. He did actually, like, he hanged on the feet with Joshua Van. He didn't get knocked out. You know, he lasted to a decision. That's got to be commendable at least. And he did, you know, he snapped Joshua Van's head back a couple times. You know, I think he landed an elbow or two. Some shit like that. Maybe a spinning back fist. There was some wonky stuff he was throwing. Saruya is someone to look out for in the future, but he's a young guy. He has to make improvements. Good win for Joshua Van, though. And we move on to the main card. First fight, we got Mauricio Ruffy versus Bobby Green. And I was high on Mauricio Ruffy. You know, I had the, I made a reel about, like, his fucking I saw on the embedded, he was doing, like, flying elbows on, like, a bag on the ground. And I was like, I saw in my head, I'm like, yeah, there's got to be a fucking post right here. So I took that and I posted it, man. Doing numbers on IG, man. But Ruffy got it done in the first round. I told you guys, Bobby was cooked. He ain't got nothing from Mauricio Ruffy. This was like, for a minute or two, this seemed like a close-ish fight on the feet. But, you know, Bobby Green is getting rocked by everyone on the feet. If you cannot, you gotta accept that, man. Jim Miller, like fucking Jalen Turner. Everyone he's fighting is rocking him on the feet. Mauricio Ruffy, dynamic kickboxer, lands a spinning back kick, knocks him flat out cold. I said this would be a bad knockout, and it was a pretty bad knockout. Bobby Green was unconscious, man. Face first on the mat. Great win for Mauricio Ruffy. The fighting nerds are legit. You cannot undercut these guys. These guys are legit. These guys come to fight. They have a good game plan. They know what they need to do to win. They are on a run. All of them. All of them, except for Bruno Brazil. But everyone else is on a run. All the males, they're on a run. Mauricio Ruffy, great win. This was easy fucking money, guys. You could get the you could have got Mauricio Ruffy at -600 on the money line, or you could have taken the KO, which was free money at -110. Fucking free money. If you took my play, you cashed out hard on that fight. Great win for Mauricio Ruffy. We move up to the next fight. Lemos versus Lucindo. Underdog play cashes. Lucindo couldn't hang. I told you guys. Lemos too gritty. She got that veteran status. You know, she's beat a lot of better competition than Lucindo on the roster. And a lot of people were taking, like, Zhang Weili dominating Lemos. And they're trying to translate that to Lucindo beating Lemos. And it's like, do you even hear yourself? Zhang Weili is the champion of the fucking world on a 5-fight win streak right now? What are we talking about? She's levels above Lucindo. Of course she dominates Of course she dominates Lemos. She would obliterate Lucindo. What are we talking about? That's not even translatable, you know? You lose to Zhang Weili 8 times out of 10. She's a fucking mythical fighter. She's a boss, man. You lose to her. And people are trying to say Lemos is going to lose to Lucindo because she lost to Zhang Weili? Are you kidding me? It's insane. Lemos, great win. I actually wasn't confident enough to put money on her. I'm talking this heavy on her, but I wasn't even confident enough to put money on her. She ends up winning. Great win for her, but she is 37. She probably loses to the next person they give if they give her like a contender or something. But Lucindo's not a contender. Come on, guys. You really betting on a fucking 23-year-old Lucindo who lost to like a bunch of people before this fight? Come on. This is a fucking no-brainer. Next fight, we got Jalen Turner, Bahamondes. This was another no-brainer. Jalen Turner laid his gloves down after this. This was a Bahamondes submission win. Good win for him. It wasn't looking great, but he got the submission done. You know, Turner has no grit, so whenever something's not looking his way, he's ready to quit. Good win for Bahamondes. Turner laid his gloves down. You know, some people will be upset. You know, I'm not that upset. This guy's a guy that lost me a lot of money until this Bahamondes fight that actually won me money. So let's go Bahamondes. And we're on to the co-main event. I took Rafael Fiziev. I had a feeling it did not pan out. Gaethje was the more conditioned fighter. You know, he was able to go all three. Round one was Fiziev. He outstruck him 20-10, something like that, on the striking stats in the first round. Second round was a Gaethje round. He got a knockdown with a nice uppercut, knock Fiziev down. And third round, back and forth, pretty close. Personally, I could have seen it towards Fiziev, but Gaethje, I think he might have gotten a takedown in the third round too, but it was a really close, and I think he might have outstruck Fiziev in the third round by like 1 or 2 strikes. So Gaethje won the fight, I think. Yeah, unfortunate. I thought Fiziev would get it done on a full training camp. If it was a full training camp in the rematch, Fiziev takes this, man. But very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I really thought Fiziev would get it done. He did not look as good as I thought he would in the first round. I thought he would have taken the first and second. But he, after he lost the first round, I was kind of shook. I was kind of convinced that he was losing the fight. But yeah, very unfortunate for Fiziev because he comes in on short notice, saves the card, but he ends up looking bad because of the loss, and he got knocked down and all this. Very unfortunate for Fiziev. I still think he looked pretty good. He hanged in there to the end, till the end, pretty close fight. But Gaethje just had a bit more. He was a more conditioned guy. Great win for Gaethje. I don't think he has another run in him. I think he loses his next fight. I don't think Gaethje can hang with the top 5 anymore. I don't. I really wished Fiziev was gonna break through in this fight on a short notice win. It would have been a great spot for him, but very unfortunate. Yeah. Let me move on though. I could spend a lot of time on that fight. Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev. This really disappointed me. Man. I thought Pereira would be outstriking Ankalaev on the feet. I even said in my breakdown, if this went long, I had a Pereira round 2 KO. But I said if this went long, Pereira would outstrike Ankalaev on the feet and win a decision. I could not be more wrong. I could not have been more wrong. Ankalaev beat him in the first round. It's a toss-up in the first round. That's the only round there's a toss-up. Second round, Ankalaev beat him on the feet. Third round, Ankalaev beat him on the feet. Fourth round, Ankalaev beat him on the feet. Pushed him against the fence a little bit. Fifth round, Ankalaev beat him on the feet. Pushed him against the fence a little bit. Ankalaev beat him on the feet in 5 of the 5 rounds, And at the end of the 5th round, I was kind of joking around with a couple of the other guys I was watching the fights with. They showed the stats on the screen of the UFC, and it said Pereira outstruck Ankalaev in I think it was 2 or 3 of the 5 rounds. Pereira apparently outstruck Ankalaev in. And I was kind of joking around. I'm like, Pereira obviously won this fight, Pereira won 3 rounds, he outstruck him in 3 rounds. People forget, man, Pereira outstruck him in 3 of these rounds. But obviously Ankalaev won this fight. This was a really boring, disappointing fight to watch. Because it's an inevitable ending. You watch one of these rounds, you know exactly how this fight's going to end. And the only saving grace is oh, but what if Pereira lands a hook? What if Pereira lands something? I hate watching a fight expecting someone to just throw one single thing. I hate watching a fight because it's Pereira, what do you do? Because I understand Pereira's so much better than I am. But, I'm watching this fight, and it's Pereira, throw a left hook. But he probably wouldn't have landed it anyways, It's just very disappointing. I have all these expectations for this fight. I'm yeah, Pereira's going to be just so dominant on the feet. Ankalaev got beat up by Blachowicz on the feet, had to shoot takedowns. Obviously, Pereira wins. But no, I couldn't be more wrong. And it's very disappointing. This makes me take a step back, and it's I don't know, man. I don't know who's going to win these things at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it is random. It is a 50-50 sport. It is a fucking coin toss at the end of the day. So it's fucking bullshit. Like, I don't understand, man. Like, I don't know who's going to beat Ankalaev. I don't know who's going to beat Ankalaev. Like, it's going to be... Maybe Yuri lands a strike against him and knocks him out. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Jamal Hill somehow knocks out... Maybe Khalil Roundtree knocks out Jamal Hill, and then Khalil Roundtree becomes champion. Maybe fucking Ion Cutelaba makes another run at the belt. Who fucking knows at the end of the day? Nobody knows. This is a fucking... Nobody can make an accurate prediction at the end of the day. You know? Nobody can. So, what are we even doing? What are we even doing? You know, I can come and tell you who I think's going to win, but what does it even matter? What does it even matter? We got Ankalaev as the fucking lightweight champion. This is a fucking light heavyweight champion. This is fucking bullshit, man. Anyways, that's the fucking recap. I'm done. I'm gonna go to bed. This was not a bad card, man. I'm pretty soured in my opinion of it though, just because of the main event. So, pretty unfortunate ending. I know I'm gonna get a lot of comments like, oh yeah, this was easy, like inshallah, mashallah, all this shit. I don't fucking care. Pereira, I'm pretty disappointed, man. Unfortunate. I hope you guys like the recap. We'll be back here for more soon. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Have a good one.